There is a very good chance that I'm going to offend a lot of people with this video.
I'm going to say some bad words. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Oh yes, this is definitely going to be offensive to a lot of people. Why, hello there, and welcome back to another edition of That's Thailand. What can I tell you? Listen, if there's one thing I've been more than honest and open about, it's my absolute disdain for these tough guys of Thai TikTok. I'm going to tell you something. It's absolutely hilarious watching these morons fight each other, battle each other, try to correct each other. I just don't understand it. It's gotten to the point, quite honestly, where I can't even watch TikTok anymore. And Instagram is getting every bit as bad. I'm not sure what it is about the Thai influencers, but for some reason, you got a lot of guys that are just going and taking content of mine and disseminating it into these 1-minute videos that is completely false. It's just total clickbait. You also have guys running around giving information about Thailand that is absolutely so false. You would think that that idiot, well, I'm not going to say who it is, but we all know who I'm talking about. It's beyond belief. It's gotten to the point where they even argue and try to correct each other's opinions, which I think is absolutely hilarious, because everybody who comes to Thailand has their own opinion of every single aspect of living here. So guys, here is my list of the top 10 pros and cons, brought to you by somebody who obviously has no idea what they're talking about, because if you're not totally confused by the end of this video, I don't think I did my job properly. Also, it's going to show you just how ridiculous it is watching guys like me and these idiots on TikTok battle each other about the pros and cons of living in Thailand, because by the time you're done watching this video, you're not going to know which is which. Guys, I'm going to start right with number 1, okay? Because this is the one that everybody seems to be talking about when it comes to Thailand. So obviously, the number 1 pro for me are the ladyboys. At least according to a lot of people in the comments. Actually, it is the cost of living. Listen, I have gone on and on and on about this for years. I have done so many videos about the cost of living here in Thailand that it's absolutely insane. As you guys know, I lived here for 18 full months on a $1,000 a month budget as a social media experiment to show people what is actually possible. And I can tell you this much, I have changed my budget a little bit. I'm now right around $1,300 to $1,500 every single month, which is this in other currencies. And I'm going to tell you something, I think I live a fantastic life. Anybody who is looking to get a lot for their bot, if you come to Thailand and you're not crazy, you're not going to these insane clubs, etc., you're not trying to run around with a bunch of girls who are half your age, you can live here so cheap that it is crazy. So for me, the number 1 pro of living in Thailand is definitely the cost of living. This guy is totally full of shit. The number 1 con about living here in Thailand is guys like this. I'm going to tell you something. It is so expensive to live here that you may as well just live in New York or London, because it is insane how much money you're going to spend. And if you're going to the nightclubs and stuff of Bangkok, the really cool, crazy, hip clubs where all of the young people are, the beautiful people are, yes, it is foolishly expensive. If you want to have a crazy condo or an oceanfront villa, you're going to pay for that. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, you're going to pay for that. You can have the craziest lifestyle here, and it is going to set you back thousands and thousands of dollars a month. But if you want to come and enjoy yourself, have a good time, and you don't have oodles and oodles of cash, Thailand is a perfect spot to live. I'm going to tell you something, you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money like a lot of these guys are on TikTok. It's just all for clout. I'm going to tell you something. I can't possibly see anybody living like that all of the time, except for guys that come on like a 2 or 3 week vacation. And I'm actually going to do a video about a guy who is addicted to the bar girls on Bangla Road and show you just how much money some of these guys are spending. So yes, you know what? Thailand can be unbelievably affordable, and it can be horrifically expensive all at the same time. So is it a pro? Is it a con? I'm not sure. You decide for yourself. Now, pretty damn close to the top of the list for pros, along with cost of living, is definitely the weather. I love the weather. For me, it is fantastic being able to wear shorts and flip-flops all year long. You have to remember, again, I came from the east coast of Canada where it is cold 13 months out of the year, okay? Absolutely beyond belief. If you've never experienced minus 40-degree weather, trust me, you would never complain about the heat or the humidity here in Thailand at all. I simply love the weather. Even rainy season, okay? I'm gonna touch on that in a few minutes as well. But for me, even rainy season is fantastic because it does clean everything out and it's relaxing. Not only that, let's be honest, prices bottom out during rainy season to the point that this place is foolishly affordable, okay? So for me, the weather here is absolute pro. I love it. There's nothing I can complain about with the weather. Words that have never come out of my mouth are, it's too hot. No, you will never hear me say it is too hot. As a matter of fact, I was in Cambodia one time and it was 45 degrees and it was so bloody humid. I spent the whole day touring the temples. I drank, I think, 16 bottles of water. Never had to pee once. True story. The weather, I love it here. For me, again, right at the very top of the top 3 of the list of pros.
It's so hot here. How can anybody enjoy this? This is terrible. Oh, the humidity.
Yes, you know what? Thailand can be unbelievably hot and humid a lot of the year, okay? Here's a pro tip for you though, guys, okay? And again, I know I'm going to offend a lot of people. Drop a couple of pounds. Trust me, if you do, you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable in this heat. And again, guys, it's a tropical climate, especially down here in Phuket. So yes, it's going to be hot and humid. If you go up to northern Thailand, you're going to find it at certain periods of the year, it is stifling hot to the point that even I would kind of think possibly too hot. Not quite yet, but possibly. You go up into the mountains and you're going to get a nice mixture of hot, cool. So again, is it a pro? Is it a con? For me, definite pro. For other people who just like to bitch, moan, and complain about every single thing in the world, yeah, you know what? They're gonna find the heat and humidity here trifling, stifling. No question at all. Millions of people from all around the world make the pilgrimage to Thailand every single year, not just for the ladyboys, but for the food. I'm gonna tell you something, Thai food is quite possibly one of the most incredible, diverse, just spectacular cuisines in the entire world. Guys, the street food here is just, it's beyond description. I'm going to tell you something. I am amazed every time I go out and have something on the street, something new. It's just incredible. You can find Michelin star street food stalls. That is how amazing the food here is. It is so tasty, especially if you like spicy food. They will ask you, you know, spicy or not spicy. I'm always like, yeah, nit noi, which means a little bit spicy. Sometimes I ask for one chili because, let me just tell you this much. Thai food is horrifically spicy. So if you're not ready for that, if you're not prepared for that, you might want to try and temper it down and learn how to say, you know, mai ao ped, which means not spicy, because even the not spicy stuff will take your face off in certain areas. And Thai food, guys, is just, it's one of the best things about coming here. You know, this list is so hard to make because there's so many wonderful things about here. The cost of living, the weather, the girls, the food. Oh my God, it's just, it truly is a little slice of paradise. And there's nothing like a plate of krapao to just, yeah. Thai food is just, man. It's no wonder it is the #1 destination for foodies in the world. It's truly amazing. And if you're coming here, try the different stuffs. Hit the street food scene. And if you're worried about it being sanitary, healthy, go where the locals are eating because they know all the best spots and obviously they're not getting sick from it, so you're not going to either, okay? Trust me on that one. If you want to try street food, go to where the locals are eating. Don't try to find one where you're going to find a bunch of farangs, because most of the time that food's not very good and it's overpriced. If you go where the locals are eating, you will find the best street food in the world, hands down, here in Thailand. Thai food, one of the biggest pros about here. Oh, they fry everything in oil. Do you have any idea how unhealthy Thai food is? There's sugar, there's salt, there's sodium, there's MSG, there's this, there's that. It's disgusting, it's dirty, it's filthy. Oh, it's just a horrible food. I hear this all of the time, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't think anybody in the world actually eats a full, well, proper, balanced diet. So you know what? Indulging in Thai food, come on, people, really? Again, millions and millions of people come from all over the world to Thailand to enjoy Thai food, the cuisine, the street food scene, everything. Yes, you know what? There are some places that they tend to use way too much salt. But you know what you can say to them? No salt. If you don't want sugar, tell them no sugar. They will listen to you and cook it the way that you want it to. All of the restaurants that I go to, they all know me, and they know exactly how I like my food cooked, and they're not putting the MSG, they're not putting the salt, the sugars, the soy sauces, the heavy, like really high in sodium soy sauces and stuff. They're just not doing it. Yes, some of the stuff is fried, no question at all. Like when I go for my pad krapao, my egg is fried in oil, but that's how it's supposed to be done. It would make no sense to... Thai food is unbelievably delicious. And yes, if you did nothing but eat certain dishes, I'm sure it would be unhealthy after a certain period of time. But all of these people that go on about how unhealthy Thai food is, oh, you know, it's so much rice, you know, rice is terrible for you, etc., etc. Rice is the staple of the diet of billions of people in the world who, I hate to say it, are head and shoulders healthier than a lot of people in the Western hemisphere that are going on about, really? Thai food is incredibly delicious. Again, yes, if you ate too much of it, certain things, I'm sure it would be unhealthy, but you really think that your Rotten Ronnie's is healthier than Thai food? Give your head a shake. Now, after giving our head a shake, let's shake this up a little bit and start out with a con this time, and that is the visa situation. It is absolutely miserable here in Thailand. Oh my goodness, the hell they put you through just to get a visa, such as an education visa, a retirement visa, an elite visa. Oh, you got to check in every 90 days. It's just so terrible. I spent 50 or 60,000 baht paying some visa company to get me my visa, and they've done nothing for me, and all of this stuff. You hear this stuff all the time, how terrible it is to get a visa for Thailand. Oh, you can only get like a 30-day visa on arrival. If you go online, you can only get a 60, 90 day. It's just so miserable. Why don't they make it easier for people? This is one of the worst things about Thailand, is the visa situation and immigration. They just make it miserable for everyone. Really? You honestly think that Thailand is hard to get a visa for? Any type of visa, retirement visa, tour? Really? Guys, I'm going to tell you something. This country is one of the simplest places to apply for a retirement visa. If you're over 50 years old and you can prove that you have a certain income per month, I believe it's right around 65,000 baht, which is close to 2,000 US dollars. Or you can take and deposit 800,000 baht, which is right around 23,000 US dollars, into a Thai bank account, and you automatically qualify for a retirement visa here. And here's the best thing. A lot of people are like, oh, you got to put up 800,000 baht. Oh my God. You get to use that money throughout the year. You have to keep it to no more than 50% of that, but still, that's around $1,000 a month from your 23,000 that you can spend. The only thing is, if you're going to reapply, you have to up it back up to the 800,000 or the 23,000 US dollars. It's so simple. all of these people that are going on about how, oh, I had to pay this visa company thousands and thousands, it's because you're lazy. You're too lazy to do it yourself. It is so simple. I had a guy I know who I'm just going to flat out say was dumb as a post. This guy definitely was not the sharpest tool in the shed, no question at all. Dave, again, I love you, brother, but you're dumb as fuck. He was able to go on to the website and do everything himself to get his retirement visa, no problem at all. If Dave can do it, you can do it, trust me. And as far as, having to check in every 90 days, what's wrong with that? The Thai government and immigration is just trying to make sure that you're actually living up to your end of the deal. So really, guys, I'm going to tell you something. It's simple and easy. If you're Canadian, American, if you come from a bunch of different countries, you can just arrive in Thailand and get a free visa. I call it a visa on arrival. Other people call it. When you arrive in Thailand, they will give you a 30-day visa, which you are, again, allowed to extend out for an extra 30 days. It's so simple, it's a joke. I'm going to tell you something. Try getting a retirement visa or living like I do in a country like Canada or the United States. Good luck to you. I'm going to tell you something. Quick personal story, 1000% true. My girlfriend, about 12 years ago, wanted to visit me in Canada. She was living in Shanghai. Obviously, she was Chinese. And we applied for a tourist visa to Canada, and she got rejected. And they actually sent her a list of all of the reasons why she was being rejected. You are not going to believe this. She got rejected because she had her master's degree, she had her CPA, she had too much money, she was too fluent in English, and they deemed her job too transient, okay? She was a high-level executive and actually a director of finance for a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. And get this, they said that there was too much of a risk that she was going to just stay in Canada. Even though when she sent her passport in, they could see that she had been to 17 different countries in the past 4 years. Her employer also wrote a letter stating that our employee, so-and-so, is very important to us. We will not be asking her to relocate anywhere other than where she is needed directly now in China, etc. Refused. A tourist visa. Don't talk about how hard the visa situation here in Thailand is until you've experienced it in other countries and you realize that this is an absolute joke how easy it is to get a visa here. So all of these guys running around, I'm sorry guys, but you're full of shit and you have no idea what you're talking about. Air quality. Now listen guys, I'm from the east coast of Canada where you would think that we would have perfect air quality, and for the most part it is fantastic compared to the rest of the world. However, we still have some industry there such as a refinery, pulp and paper mills, so once in a while we do get some air pollution. Here down on Phuket, I find the air incredibly fresh and clean, especially during rainy season. I love rainy season because it just seems to filter out everything that's in the air. It cleans everything, it makes everything lush, and it just brings life to everything. So the air down here is just, oh, it's heaven. It's beautiful. You couldn't ask for cleaner, fresher air. Has that fucking loser ever been to Bangkok? It's terrible. Chiang Mai, burning season, it's terrible. Oh, it's so smoky, blah, 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 blah. It's just horrific. You can't breathe. You can't go outside. You can't do this. You can't do that. Again, Thailand's a pretty big country, guys, and you have to understand that, yes, up in Chiang Mai, in that area in northern Thailand, you have the burning season. It's been going on for, well, a lot longer than you've been thinking about coming to Thailand. And yes, Bangkok has a lot of pollution due to all of the traffic. It's a big city with quite a few people. A lot of cars, guys, come on, think about it. If you don't like the smog of Bangkok, come down south. If you find Chiang Mai to be the spot for you, except for during burning season, come down south and enjoy the air quality down here. Again, air quality, is it a pro, is it a con? Some areas, it's an absolute dream. Other areas, yeah, it's a nightmare, no question at all. So air quality, what do you think? Which side of the fence are you on this one? Now let's be honest, this one is definitely for the boys and a couple of the girls too. But the girls here, they are unbelievable, and what a bonus about this country. Thailand honestly has some of the most beautiful, sensual, sexual, incredibly friendly, approachable, just amazing women you will find anywhere. And quite honestly, they're everywhere. You, right from southern Thailand to northern Thailand, everywhere in between, you will find some of the most incredibly beautiful women. This is the truth about Thailand. You can be walking down the street and see a girl and think that that is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and you're watching her, and by the time you turn your head back, there's someone who's even more beautiful than she is. I'm going to tell you something. The girls definitely make Thailand one of the wonders of the world. Boys, just let me tell you something. If you want to feel good about yourself, if flirting, and Thailand is definitely the spot. The girls are just, I would like to say that they're even above cost of living for a pro, but yeah, they're slightly below that for me. For other people, yeah, they're number one. No question at all. The girls here are, yeah. Is that a girl or a boy? Lady boys. A lot of people have a problem with them. I personally don't. I think they're absolutely hilarious. But there's a lot of people that are going to go on about how, oh, Thailand's full of nothing but ladyboys. Yes, there are a lot of ladyboys here. They are part of the social structure. They're part of the fabric. They're intertwined in the history of Thailand. They're fully accepted here. They're respected. And I'll tell you something, they're some of the funniest people you will ever meet in your life. So a lot of people are going to dump on the ladyboys. If you get to know them, get to talk to them, you're going to find out that, again, they're absolutely hilarious. They're harmless for the most part. Listen, if you're going out at night and you're trying to get yourself into some crazy situation, most likely in the beginning, you were hoping to run into a ladyboy. Let's be honest about that. These guys that tell that joke about, oh, I woke up and it was a... You damn well knew going into it what you were looking for, son. Let's be honest about that. So the girls are a huge pro. Are they a con at times? Well, they can be con artists, no question at all, as you guys are well aware from some of my videos. But again, it's totally up to you, the situations that you put yourself into, as to whether or not they're a pro or a con. And again, the lady boys, they're one of the best parts about here because they're just so damn funny. Another thing that I absolutely love about here is that you have freedoms that you cannot possibly imagine, okay? Anything goes. Look, you can be whoever you want, whatever you want here, and nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. You can go out and you can have the most incredible experiences that you just can't possibly have anyplace else. And you guys know what I'm getting to when I'm talking about that, okay? Anything goes here, okay? It's one of those places, I mean, this is kind of like the Wild Wild West, because again, they have a tolerance and they allow things to happen that you just can't imagine happening in other countries. But here, they just almost let it happen, they let it flow. Yes, if you do something horrifically stupid, you're going to go into a whole lot of trouble, but for the most part, it's almost a free-for-all, and I have to admit, I really enjoy that. Oh, Thailand's an absolute corrupt shithole. You've got all these cops running around taking bribes from everybody, blah, 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 blah. It's the Wild Wild West. Yeah, you know what? I've heard this 1,000 times before, and it's usually from some idiot who's come here and got stopped at one of these police checkpoints, driving a motorbike without the proper license or without a helmet on. Yes, believe it or not, you are going to pay a fine for it. And a lot of the times, you think that the cop is taking a bribe because they're taking cash from you on the spot. When reality is, they're giving you the opportunity to pay the fine there. Sometimes it go in their pocket. Yeah, maybe it does buy them a few beers in the weekend. But at the end of the day, you've broken the fucking law, mate. You're driving without a proper driver's license. It is legally mandated that you have to wear a helmet and even a shirt, even an ugly shirt like, why hello there, while you're driving a motorbike. And if you're not driving with a helmet, you're going to get a fine, point blank, because guess what, son? You have broken the law. Does that make Thailand corrupt? No. It makes you an idiot for breaking the law. Sorry, but that's one of those cons that I just can't agree with, because you're wrong, point blank. Now, hopefully, if you're coming to Thailand, you know that it is called the land of smiles. And I'm going to tell you something. The people here are unbelievably friendly, helpful, kind. They're just so generous, and well, they're damn wonderful people. I'm amazed all of the time when I'm out, especially when I'm in spots where tourists don't usually go, because the generosity of people will blow your mind. It's incredible. I'm out driving on my bike a lot of the time, and I'll get caught in these torrential downpours, especially during rainy season, obviously. And people will actually offer for you to come in and get underneath the covered porches of their houses. They'll offer you a chair. A lot of the time, they'll sit there and try to feed you, okay? The people here in Thailand are just some of the most incredible people that you can possibly meet anywhere in the world, and that is coming from a Canadian. Most people think the Canadians are incredibly polite. Look, you've not seen anything until you've witnessed the kindness of a local Thai person. They are just, they're damn wonderful people. At the end of the day, they really are. I know I've made a lot of videos about how, oh, the girls this, girls that. As a whole, the people in Thailand are hands down the most incredible people in the world. Definitely one of the biggest cons about Thailand is the people. No question at all. Anytime you introduce people into any equation, they will fuck it up in a hurry. And I'm not talking about the locals here, I'm talking about the expats. I've had so many experiences with expats that I actually made a whole video about why I don't hang out with expats, okay? You know, thankfully, since I made that video, I have met some really incredible people here in Thailand. Craig, Rick, you know, Jack, Dan, you guys all, listen, I've met some wonderful people. Les, you guys from Atlanta. Look, one of the biggest problems that I personally have, and I know I was not really going to do anything personal in this video, but one of my biggest gripes is the people that come here, because again, they can just be such. If you're coming to Thailand, I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. Do not join any of the Facebook Thailand groups, because that is where you're going to find the most miserable, hateful, despicable holes here in Thailand. These expats that have absolutely nothing good to say about anything, you will find them in the Facebook groups. I can't believe how they can absolutely destroy someone who just asks a simple question. You wouldn't believe how nasty these people can be. I'm out in the streets all the time and I see it. Listen, I'm absolutely disgusted by most of the expats. Where I'm living in Patong, it's really Muslim dominated, okay? And I'm amazed by how many people will go on about Muslims, I hate them. Yeah. The people are one of the biggest cons about here. And especially when you're watching TikTok, because you see just how you really see how stupid and ignorant these people are. The traffic here is absolutely horrendous. It is just brutal. Have you ever been to Bangkok? Oh my, it's like death wish getting on the road. So if you're one of these idiots that decides to ride a bike or drive a car in Bangkok, you're a moron, no question at all. Down in Phuket, you go to Patong, it is bumper to bumper bikes and nobody knows how to drive. They're just a pack of morons. No question at all. The traffic in Thailand is, it's the worst in the world. No question at all. Worst thing about Thailand, the traffic. And you're going to die. Oh yes, you're going to die driving in Thailand. No question at all. Biggest con, traffic. Okay, so even I have to admit that the traffic can be a bit of a negative, especially if you live in Bangkok. But keep in mind, there's also 11 million people in Bangkok. So yeah, the traffic is pretty brutal. But at the same time, they have the BTS, they have the MRT, so getting around is actually pretty bloody easy. Down in Phuket, again, it can be dangerous, but if you know how to drive and you're not out acting like an idiot, you're usually going to be fine. One thing I will say about getting around here in Thailand, it's hilariously cheap, especially if you're flying somewhere. So yes, traffic can be bad, but at the same time, traveling in Thailand, unbelievable. You can fly all over the country for less than $50 US. You can get a bus from Bangkok down to Patong for right around $12 US. It's one of those trade-offs, okay? For me personally, I don't mind the traffic situation, even when I'm in Bangkok. Sometimes what I will do, because I'm an idiot, I will pay a motorbike taxi just to drive me around. I love the thrill. I love living on the edge. I think it's hilarious because these guys are so skilled at diving in and out. It's amazing. The traffic, look, if I wouldn't want to have a car in Bangkok, I don't even want to have a car down on Phuket, and I love cars. I don't think there's anybody that loves cars more than I do. Well, possibly Andrew Tate, but I'm not going to have a car here because I think that is insane. Quite possibly driving a motorbike for some people might be insane, but for me, it is one of those things that I love about Thailand. So is it a pro? Is it a con? For me, absolute pro. For others, it's a con. Again, it's confusing. I understand. So there we go, guys. That was my top 10 pros and cons of living here in Thailand. And I truly hope that you are as confused now as you were when you started watching this video. Hopefully you also noticed that it wasn't even the top 10. Yeah, go figure. Again, I can't count. I am the king of the idiots. However, I am definitely living my best life here in positively perfect Phuket, Thailand. And when I travel all around terrific Thailand, I am always living my best life. And that's all I want for you guys. So please listen, if living your best life is coming to Thailand, don't rely just on these TikTok guys, the Instagram idiots, and talking heads like me here on YouTube. Please come experience it for yourself and build your own opinions of the pros and cons of living in positively perfect Phuket, Thailand. Until next time, guys, cheers.